वनक्कम, मैं हैदर अली सैयद आसिफगंज से यूनाइटेड अंडर तमिल सेवा।
Hundred percent, 100%. I'm glad that you mentioned that, Brother Atif, because I came across something that's very similar to what you just said with
Brother
regards to Wizard
Cameron,
of
sorry, I
Oz.
have to
It
pause
wasn't.
you. There's other people who want
Sorry.
to speak. Jawad wanted to talk and sounds like Luke, so let's let Jawad go, Luke, and then Cameron's back to you.
Thank you. Cameron, fellow UK person, I think we've come across each other before, yes?
Possibly, brother, possibly.
Hey, Ramadan Mubarak to you, if you're fasting.
Thank you very much, and
just
to you
wanna-
too.
Assalamu
Ramadan Mubarak.
Welcome to all of you. Right, yeah. Whether or not you're fasting or not, whether or not you're Muslim or not, I wish you a happy month and, best of intentions. Cameron, okay, so a lot of this stuff, to me, sounds like conspiracy theory nonsense, right? I'm just going to lay that out there. It sounds like it's unfounded. It sounds like it's filled with paranoia. None of it actually makes a lot of sense. It seems to be filled with non sequiturs. I'm pretty sure that it's taken from anecdotal evidence and stuff that you've heard that has triggered anxieties. And that's not specific to you, Cameron. It's just I hear this a lot from a lot of different people. I'm not saying I'm any different. I'm not saying there's not stuff to be anxious about, but it's not logical. It doesn't make any sense. So,
But Jawad, it won't make sense.
No, Brother Asay once said, go to the World Economic Forum website, World Economic Forum website, and you will find all the information that I've mentioned.
Guys, okay, let's begin moderation rules, okay? Now that the room's filling up. Yes, Jawad, you will finish. Let me just finish moderating here. Okay, it's respectful to let people finish. I know I'm guilty of doing that. I will try my best not to. That's fine. Damn it,
He's on the phone. Look, I'll finish. Right, it's fine.
But you're speaking to him, so why don't we let Luke?
He's back.
Oh, Cameron's back. Okay. The room's filling up now, so we need rules. The rules are, you have to write down your points or remember them until the person's done talking. The person talking, please don't talk forever. People would like to interject. Make 2 points maximum so that people can respond. If you make like 6, 7 points, then the conversation goes a little nutso. So let's just try to have some boundaries here. Thank you. Luke, you are next. I see you flashing hot. So let Jawad finish. Luke, and then you're up next, okay?
Okay, so I already made 1 point, which is that I don't think a lot of that makes sense. My second point was just going to be a question. Who are the they that you're talking about? And please be specific if you can, Cameron. Thank you.
Cameron, we can't hear you. You've gone radio silent. Can't hear you. Okay, Luke, you can go. Cameron, just wait. I just told Luke he can go.
I don't speak English. My English is very little, not well. I speak other languages. So
hey, listen, your English is good enough as long as we understand it. So don't worry about apologies. You are speaking, and we can understand you. You're doing good.
Not well. My English is not well. Okay.
Sorry,
I can speak other
do you
languages.
have a point to make? Because you're kind of interrupting a discussion here. Okay, let's go back to Cameron.
Okay, everything that I mentioned with regards to this digital currency and universal income, this is all in this information is readily available on the World Economic Forum website, which is headed by Klaus Schwab, who's one of the puppets that is controlled by this hidden entity that is, as you would say, what conspiracy conspiring against humanity to lead us to this one world order, one world agenda, because they're clearly telling us now, openly they're telling us what the agenda is. And also the second point is that the word conspiracy theory was a word that was brought out or created or put together by the CIA when President Kennedy was assassinated, and that you had a lot of people that were accused of, or when they said that he was assassinated by the government insiders themselves, and then CIA come out with this new term, conspiracy theories, and if you look back in history, all conspiracy theories have all come to be true. not one can you say that has never ever remained just a theory. Everything that has been, people that have been awoke, that have understood what the game plan is or what the agenda is, what is the plan and why they create these distractions, smokes and mirrors, and what the ultimate agenda is. And I think that, you should never ignore anything or reject anything without doing any due diligence yourself. Anything that you hear, you should always take it with a pinch of salt and go do your own research. I knew about the lockdowns coming in 2020. I knew about this in 2018. It was talked and discussed about. What is happening today in Ukraine and in Pakistan. This was a simulation was put together in 2015 by a certain organization called Cargill. They did a simulation of what would happen in 2022 to 2030. And during this simulation, it was said that the Ukrainian government will collapse and the government in Pakistan will collapse. And lo and behold, here we are. We have exactly that event has happened. I'm just giving you sort of a snippet of the things that I have come across. I'm at work, so there's a lot of things that I could say, but I'm not able to do because time is not on my side just yet.
So I didn't get any specific name at all. I was just asking for who the they were. Thank you for the conspiracy theories, but like, who are the they that you're talking about specifically? Do you have a name?
Well,
The cabal, right, Cameron? That's what
Nuri,
Yeah,
I
the
would
cabal,
like to add to this.
Okay, 1 minute, but then David, I'll just give you one name, but
Yes.
there's many names. One is the Rothschilds, the biggest, the richest, the most influential hidden hand that this world, in this modern world, has ever seen. That's just one of them, but there's many of them.
Bing
So
bong.
Jewish
Okay.
cabal and Rothschilds. It sounds like you're saying there's a Jewish
That's
conspiracy.
you saying that, brother. That's not me.
no,
No,
that's
but
you.
That's you.
No,
Rothschilds are
We're
no,
not saying that at
no,
all.
no.
And
You
I don't
asked
said
believe,
you.
cabal.
I don't even believe that. Yeah, but you're attributing this word cabal with
It's a
Judaism, and I
Jewish
don't know how
word.
you're able to connect the. I don't know how you're able to connect the dots,
It's
but
a Jewish word.
no, it's
Cabal
nothing to.
literally
It's
comes from
nothing.
Kabbalah.
It's nothing to do with Judaism. And if that your understanding is that the Rothschilds are Jews, then I think you need to do your own due diligence because that's completely
Okay,
incorrect and false.
so you're saying it's to do with the family of
I'm
the
sorry
Rothschilds.
You're
to
sorry. Hold
interrupt.
on.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, Navin, go.
Please go ahead.
But this, Mr. Jawad, as you was asking, who are they? Now, the people, they have different names over the centuries. Now, as Mr. Hyder Ali was telling in previous of his discussions, these societies were started through Mithraism. Excuse me. And such kind of societies infiltrated all of the top civilizations in the ancient world or in the olden world. In the modern day, they have given themselves a different name. So they are masking themselves with the common people. So which is why we are not able to actually pinpoint and tell these are those people. Now these are the exact people who are doing this. Now what the shadow governments does is this has been going through all ages from the time of kings. So even if the king is the head of a country or a nation, it's the ministers who handle the affairs of the country, and they are the ones who give the information to the king which is necessary for the king, until and unless if there is a war. Beyond that, the welfare of the people is handled by the religious teachers of the people of that land, because they are the ones who the people, common people, go to in the first place, be it disputes, be it family domestical issues, be it any issues. Until it comes to the state or the country, it goes only to these religious heads. So now, as you said, the people through these secret societies, which was first started from Mithraism, they have infiltrated these traditional religious head groups, and they have placed themselves on top of that pyramid, and they started dictating terms to the people. And which is why when they dictate anything which is benefiting for them, and if it doesn't benefit them, they turn the people against the king or against the monarch. So when they turn the people against the monarch, that is when the civil unrest comes in place. Now, as we were talking about the conspiracies and all the economical things and about the Russia and Ukraine war and everything, these are all happening because these were the plans of their agenda. Because what they do is they don't give out the entire plan. They always give bits and pieces of such plans everywhere, because this is a network that is connected all over the world. Now they are hiding themselves in different names. Now when they hide themselves in different names, no one is able to actually pinpoint them. So which is why, on the topic of what is happening and what needs to be done, because we've been discussing what is going to happen, what is going to happen down the lane in the next 10 years. So we all have this information, we all have such kind of knowledge, we know what's happening, we have been educated and we have been able to realize this. But what are the steps that we have been going further to stop such kind of disasters?
Yeah, so Jawad, I just want to give you like the lay of the land. So you'll see that Navadin is from Bangalore, India. I'm from Canada. Cameron's from the UK, and we sort of all have like the same understanding and different pieces of the puzzle, and we're just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. So it's not a debate about if it's conspiracy or not. It's a debate about what else do we know. So I just wanted to let you know that it's not. We know how people feel about conspiracy theorists. Like, that's not new. We know that people think conspiracy theorists are bonkers and like have like a bunker in their backyard for the day. You know, like we understand that that's the case. But just to bring forward is that we're not suggesting that is it true or not. It's just a matter of like, what else do you know out of curiosity?
Okay, no, thank you. I appreciate that, Nuri. Please, guys, go ahead.
Well, Nuri, on the topic of conspiracies, the main reason is to distort the actual events. Now, supposedly, if there's any current situation or scenario that is going on, and if it happens to be directing towards the people who caused it, to distort such kind of information, there will be a similar story in a different region. And that will be termed as a conspiracy. So when people are looking into facts of two such scenarios, they will not have an idea as to which is the right one. So the main information is covered by a falsified information. So eventually the third person who looks at it will consider both as conspiracies. So in that way, the truth is also hidden with lies.
Exactly, and that's what I say to Brother Cameron in my expedition of like searching for the truth, is that there's a truth in every lie. You just have to be agile or smart enough to kind of see the weeds, like you know, sift between the weeds, right? So yeah, it's almost like me going through a jungle that has been walked before, and I'm just using slashes to make my own path. But eventually, I'm gonna find the map, and I'm gonna find the treasure.
Yes, but
Sorry.
this is what has been happening. Let me finish, Cameron. I'm sorry. So what is being done is all such information has been diluted. From the very beginning, all such information has been diluted. And however, if you try to look for that information, until unless you go back to your ancestral ways, and if you go back to your grandparents and your great grandparents' stories as to what they said, because at that time there was no technology to distort such kind of information.
100%. And again, like this.
So when,
I mean, I'm not gonna find evidence. Like, I don't think I'll able to find any good artifacts that will help me with my arguments. It's really not for that. It's just for my own personal adventure.
true,
Okay.
true, because most of the evidence have already been distorted. So even now, if you find any evidence, you will find only bits and pieces of it.
Okay, so Nuri, the sky is green is a deliberately false statement. Where's the truth in?
Well, it depends on what green is, right? So if green is blue, then yeah, it might be true.
It just is what it is.
Exactly. Like, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's a more matter of curiosity and just that kind of stuff. And again, like, I don't have the power to change or anything. Like, I know I'm not a policy changer or policy maker, so therefore I can't do anything. It's the policymakers who are responsible for everything. Like, and people have influence in the government. I have zero influence. So I know the writings on the wall. Like, whatever I know is never, like, it's not going to make any impact. I know that, but it's just out of curiosity for things like Clubhouse, for conversation.
So that would suggest that a deliberately false statement, that you would take some deliberately false statements but not accept them as false.
Brother Jawad,
Jawad, could you be specific?
sorry, I missed that. You were a bit quiet, and I'm driving. So
Sure.
just say it again.
That seems to indicate that you would take deliberately false statements as not being false some of the time.
For the sake of the exercise, but once you go through the exercise, you realize it is a false statement.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, as we were talking on this topic, so what I would request is we have knowledge of all so many aspects. And Nuri, you said that you couldn't make any difference on what the policies are. I would disagree on it, because the discussion we are having right now itself is exchange of information, right? So we are exchanging the knowledge that we have collected over the past years. So if we could do this to the others as well, it is more of showing them a little bit of truth and a little bit of new kind of perceptions. So in that way they will also know to see which is right and which is wrong. Eventually this will turn into a mass awakening, and eventually this will give us good governments, and it will give us good people, and that will also better our lives as well.
Thank you.
So in that way, so what could we do uh, to take it to that level, or to bring it to that society where all such corruption and division is removed?
Well, we can rely on good people like Haider Ali and Jawad to keep pumping out rooms on Clubhouse.
True.
To keep pumping it. I mean, what I see Brother Haider Ali has done consistently, has opened rooms and kept them open for quite a long time. So I think that's a really cool practice to have, because at least, I mean, we're all busy, and if people have the time to do this, it's much appreciated. And same with you, Brother Jawad, like you bring the other side of logic, and I think that's really important to have as well. So, and you are a master hoster, so that's awesome.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
Vanakkam. Thank you.